Welcome back to another commentary done by Tyler on behalf of Shock's Guide. Today I'll be teaching you how to do my style of the Breakout mission done by Tosh on Brutal, of course. One thing I'd like to mention about this game before we get started, if you've ever played Dota, a old Warcraft 3 custom variant game, this mission is going to remind you of that quite a bit. You're going to have a hero with 3 abilities and 1 ultimate ability. You'll find out later on. Some of you may or may not know about it. And essentially you're going to be backed up by NPCs that spawn randomly. The same wave happens every time. It's going to be pretty much a 1v1 with you being the hero to take the game. So if you find yourself enjoying this particular mission, or the Ghost of a Chance, which is the Nova equivalent, you definitely should go ahead and take a look at the games Heroes of Newerth, League of Legends, or Dota from Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne expansion pack. They're a lot of fun. P.S. Don't get in the red. I don't believe you get an achievement. If you do, but more importantly, you usually die, which is also counterproductive for the mission. I like to point out that you probably should go ahead and snipe off SCVs whenever you can get a moment to, because they repair the damage you do, and that's, counterproductive. And never be shameful to go ahead and steal the healing from your NPC medic friend. They're really there to serve you, and they're just tagging along with the Marines for fun. One thing I did accidentally notice on this, if the medic isn't grouped up with the Marines actually stop and wait. So you might be able to use that to your advantage. But at either rate, I don't think the enemy NPC spawn rate is affected. I think if your group is halted, the enemy group halts as well. So I don't think you can manipulate and exploit that that little glitch or bug or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, you're going to be seeing me siege the first real stronghold of the enemy. I'm going to be waiting for my Marines, so they end up taking the damage, and I think I'm going to make a move on the SCV here. No, I didn't, but it wouldn't hurt for you to do that. I didn't have enough energy to do a Mind Blast, which right there would have been a great location. So I'm going to hop outside of that little dotted line, which is the sight radius of the enemy detector, which isn't good for a cloaked unit. Now you notice I usually prefer to focus fire on the tanks first, and that's because the splash damage they do is generally unpleasant to your friendly Marines and whatnot. And taking them out early can make a big difference. Alternatively, you can use Mind Blast on the infantry, which will stun the infantry, do a great deal of damage, and ooh, I made a risk right there. But it was worth it. It doesn't look like I took too much damage, and I got a little damage done into the building, which is always good. Now that we have that outpost taken care of, I'm going to go around back, and I'm going to abuse the sight range of the missile turret to take out the tank, and then I'm going to start work on the factory and the tech lab. One thing to note is that once a Terran building catches on fire, it will perpetually take damage until it goes to be put out of fire. That didn't make sense. Until somebody puts it out of fire, usually an SCV, or it burns to the ground. So if you go ahead and catch these on fires, or if you go ahead and catch them on fire, they'll be taking damage even though you're not directly attacking them, which is always helpful. So here I'm going to pop off the last 2 Hellions, and then I'm going to take out the missile turret. Or it looks like I might... No, I'm sticking with the missile turret. No, I backed out. I should have kept my guns and finished off that missile turret. But I guess I am letting the fire finish the job for me, while I go ahead and back up my NPC friend down here.
work, Tosh. We're pushing on toward the front line.
And here is where I learn about my favorite ability that Tosh has, Consumption. Pretty much you get to steal life of your allies in turn for mana, which is great. I'm a big fan of that. It essentially makes your unit much more effective. And go ahead and steal life from Marauders because they have more hit points to spare. It'll take half the remaining life of your ally friend, and it'll turn that into energy. So the bigger the hit point pool, the more energy you get, and Marauders have more hit points, so you get more energy from them. And they're also a bit armored. Oh god, I almost died there. Don't do that. But your Marauder friends are a bit more armored, so they will have a higher chance of surviving the consumption, should you choose them instead. So pretty much, at this point in the game, you now have a way to replenish your hit points and your mana whenever you please, which is always good. And here I'm letting my medic friend bait the damage because I'm all healed up and I don't need them anymore. Because Tosh is really he's a villain. He's kind of a hard, you know, outskirt man. I don't know the words I'm looking for. So he's used to making kind of tough decisions like that. I'm going to grab Consumption one more time, top myself up with health and mana, and now I'm going to head up north, or really northwest, and open up the jail cell to get Diamondbacks to join my NPC army. And it's pretty simple. Go ahead and Mind Blast that group and throw up shields so you can walk into this little nook and cranny where you can snipe the tank, Mind Blast these guys a few more times, shoot them, finish off a missile turret, and then you're done. Easy as can be. You can get through that pretty much expending 200 mana and hardly any effort. And you also make a bunch of money too, which never hurts. Everybody likes money, right?
Yes, maybe no. Let's just see about that.
At this point in the game, I'd recommend you save because this little barricade right here is probably the most annoying one. I nearly die like 2 or 3 times trying to take it out, which it's not skill, it is luck. I just want to make that clear. But the first thing you should do is bait the SCVs to this bunker and take them out because they will be annoying and they will be working against you the entire time. Pop up from Marauder. I like to get that bunker down before I go ahead and take out the siege tank and the Raven up here on the ledge. Although it would have been better if I just waited. Right here, there you go. See me Mind Blasting the SCVs to stun them and do a lot of damage? Very efficient right there. Alternatively, I should have waited when I came to this ledge for the Raven to fly away so the siege tank didn't get a few free hits on me. That was a bit of a mistake on my part. Hopefully you won't make it now that you know. But here I am, and the reason why I like taking out that first bunker is you see my units are actually doing damage to the enemy bunker instead of being obliterated right off the bat. I think I saw 2 SCVs repairing, or 1 SCV repairing that bunker in the corner. I should have rushed in with a Mind Blast, sniped it, and then ran out of range. Oh, here's one of those instances of me nearly dying with 10 hit points. Which, like I said, not skill, 100% luck. It was my lucky day. And it just goes to show you, save. Save, because that could have been, like, I don't know, 2-3 wasted minutes of mine had I not, had I died there and not saved previously. And here you'll see one of the reasons why I hate siege tanks. They pretty much blew away my NPC-friendly army while I was pushing up. I do love infantry because they like to pack up so nicely, and you can do that, and it makes you feel like a champ. Because, I mean, you essentially just handed half a dozen Marines their number with one spell. Not even bullets, just magic, and magic doesn't exist. One good thing about Mind Blast, you notice